welcome everybody. This is kind of the show and tell period of time here up front, but Tom asked me to take just a couple of minutes to update you what's happening at the Cintas Center. And as all of you know, I mean, this is such a great building for basketball, and it has been now, I think, for 16 years here at Xavier. But a lot of times when we talk about this project, when we started talking about it a couple of years ago, people are like, why do you need to do anything to the Cintas Center? It's brand new. And you don't realize that now 16 years in, I mean, there's some things that you need to update, and tastes have changed and so forth. When we started this a couple of years ago, what we said at the time was, if you remember, first and foremost, we want this building to be as good as it can be for our student athletes, and that was kind of the first priority of projects around that. Then we were going to move into some projects around the fans, whether it's seating changes, hospitality changes. So for the first couple of years, our whole focus has been on improving Cintas and making it as good as it can be for our 300 student athletes. So you probably saw the summer of 2015, new academic center, where we took the old dining hall space and turned it into an academic center. This past summer's project was the new weight room. So when we get finished here, you can go take a look at the weight room. And Mario and Matt Jennings did a terrific job getting that. It's as good a space, strength and conditioning space, as you'll find in the United States. I mean, for a Division I school, really terrific space. And then we'll move this winter and into the spring into a new sports medicine space. So the old weight room is now sitting empty, more or less, and that wall will be torn down in between, and you'll have a brand new training room by next year. So again, the first wave of priorities was all about the student athlete. Academic center, weight room, onto the training room. And that will all lead to next summer, where we'll move into the bowl and some of the changes for fans. And those will be around seating changes and hospitality changes. Certainly really an exciting time here at Xavier, not only with what's happening on the court, but what's happening here. And I'll go back and say again, this is such a terrific facility. We didn't need to kind of hit the pause button and move our game somewhere and rearrange the chess pieces and come back. This building is such a great facility. What we thought, in our case, let's take little bites out of the elephant. So over about a 7 or 8 year period, you're going to see these changes take place. The first couple of years, again, have been focused on the student athlete. Now, next summer, we'll start on the fans. And we still have, again, it's about an 8-page document that lays through all the different projects that we're going to work on. We still haven't even talked about things like Wi-Fi or getting HD into this building and other things that'll touch the fans. And in between, there's other little odds and ends that'll take place. You know, we added the courtside club that you walked right by. That'll be for the fans that are sitting on the court this year. Little nuances like putting the window here so that all the fans can watch you do your work. Yeah, Jeff was saying you got to put the little sticker on the window. Don't tap the glass while you're working. Yeah. And for all these physical changes, we had a fan event last night. For all the physical changes that we're making to this building, the one that got the most comments last night, with probably 200 plus fans, we're now a Pepsi building. That we moved from Coke to Pepsi, but. Some people are thumbs up on that, some are thumbs down. So, but I'll stop there, whatever individual questions there are, and then, again, you ought to go kick the tires with the weight room and upstairs with the seats.
At the beginning of next season, what do you expect to have done as far as the fans? So 2017 next season starts.
Everything you saw in that video will be done,
and
right.
What will capacity be roughly?
Capacity is not going to change, and don't put a period at the end of that sentence, because it will change a little bit, but it's not going to materially change. The architects and engineers are working on the kind of the final CAD drawings right now to give us a sense of exactly what our capacity will be. If you look at those fly-throughs, there's some places we're going to have net gains, like the new seats coming off the north wall, the new mini suites. But then there's also places we're going to lose some seats, the retractables around. So at the end of the day, we'll go up or down, probably 100. I'm not quite sure which, but our capacity is the right size. You know, some people, as we started this 2 years ago, were, hey, this is the time you can get up to 13, 14, 15,000 seats. I don't think we need that. We're more or less the right size.
How will this affect season ticket holders, and will there be a shift in how they choose their seats?
They will choose seats. And that website has all the details on that. But that's why we've got the showroom, in essence, upstairs with all the new seats in there. We wanted it in place in time for basketball season this year so that Alicia and Seth and our staff members can show our fans through that so they can get a sense of what they'll be doing next summer. But the same selection process in 1999 that was done to select seats in this building, we'll go through that process again next summer.
And will you add more seats on the floor anywhere?
I think so. Brett, are we at about 65 or 70 right now around the floor? Roughly. By next season, we'll probably be around 80 on the floor. Those are the most popular seats in the building, and since we added them, the only complaint was that people hated swimming upstream to get back to restrooms and concessions, which is why we added this courtside club.
As you continue to make improvements on the Cintas Center, how do you think that positions you guys in terms of recruiting men's and women's basketball players?
Chris is the best one to answer that, but the phrase I've used a lot is the analogy is like when you have a home and you're trying to sell a home. We don't need a Taj Mahal to win games. I don't think facilities win any games, but what you do need to avoid is the obvious deficiencies. You don't want recruits to come here and we almost have to hide things from them. And our old weight room was that. You know, we've more than doubled the footprint on that. We couldn't even fit all of our teams in there at any one given time. So I think we're getting rid of some of the obvious deficiencies we had. And again, I think Xavier sells itself in a lot of different ways with the program of what's happened here over 4 decades.
And about the weight room, I know that Matt has said that they've tried to model a lot of things like NBA teams have. I mean, was that the goal, to make it as state of the art as you could in terms of getting those recruits and just, you know, making your current players have the best options for working out?
Exactly. It is as state of the art as it can be with the technology, and that's where Mario and Matt really spent 18 months prepping for it in the types of equipment, the type of facilities we've got in there, types of technology, and it's pretty impressive. Not only the space, but what they put in there and the programming around it.